Hi, welcome to 5 Minute Mondays. I'm Tommy Harden. I hope you had a great week. Today we're going to talk about kick drum tuning. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a Nashville studio drummer. I go from studio to studio to studio, and I play at a lot of different ones. And I've noticed that there's more studios nowadays that have house kits. In other words, it's a kit that stays set up, and the drummer will bring in their snare, cymbal, whatever, or their cartridge company bring it in. And the thing that I'm noticing is all these different studios, they'll have way radical different tuning methods for the kick drums. But then you hear the playback later and it sounds great. The kick drums sound great. So basically there's a lot of different ways to tune a kick drum. And today I'm just going to give you two methods of tuning and dampening that I like to use and that work for me. So the first, let's talk about pitch first. I like for the batter head and the front head to be not too tight, not too loose, right smack in the middle. That's just the way I like it. I use a 24-inch kick drum. I play Yamaha. I'm a Yamaha artist, and I play the Absolute series. I love the Absolute series. And generally, my recording setup consists of maple kick, birch toms. That's what I like. So this is a 24-inch Yamaha birch kick drum. I've got the stock Yamaha head. That's about the tuning on that one. And Taylor hit that. This is my son Taylor, by the way. Kicked that a couple times. Okay, so on the batter head, I use Remo Power Stroke 3 drum heads. That's just what I like to use, and I've used different ones. This is just what I like to use. I generally use a flam pad, only because it makes the drum last about 10 times longer. Kick drum heads, I bet I change kick drum heads maybe once or twice a year, and that's it. They last forever. It's just when you start losing the sound. On this kit, I've got a Yamaha sub kick, and the sub kick looks like a drum, but it's actually a speaker. That's used as a condenser. We'll talk about that later because we're not talking about recording techniques today. We're just talking about drum. I like to use, and if you can get over here, Ani, and show them this. I like to use a kick drum head with a hole in it. If I were to show up at a studio in Nashville without a hole in the kick drum, there'd be a lot of unhappy engineers. They just like to be able to mic outside the kick drum. And generally, most engineers in Nashville, we use more than one mic. That's what this is. This is a secondary mic, and then I've got the inside mic that goes in there. This is the Pro Cushion pillow. I think several different companies make this. Basically, I just call it an hourglass pillow. And basically what it does is it just touches the bottom of the head on both sides, just barely, but it doesn't take up a lot of space in the round part of the drum. In other words, it doesn't suck up a lot of sound. It just muffles each side of the head. And really, that's what I like to do. I like the kick drum to sound like a kick drum. In other words, for there to be as much ring as I can get away with it. So I use that. Sometimes I'll even take it out, and I'll take it, leave the front head with nothing on it, and I'll put that on that side if I even want it to ring a little bit more. Here, T, kick that and see what it sounds like. Okay. All right. So that you can tell. So that's muffling technique number one. Number two is just the old standard pillow. I don't usually use this, but there are some rooms in Nashville for some reason that this is not dampened enough. If it's the particular floor type, it's whatever the room sounds like. I know at Sony Tree sometimes I'll use the pillow because they like for some reason it just sounds too wobbly or whatever. So, but for my taste, this is too muffled. But I'm gonna let you listen to it. Go ahead, T. Hit that a couple times. Yeah, that's That's way more muffled than I care for. Anyway, that's really it. There's not a whole lot of ways to complicate this. Like I said, I like the Power Stroke heads. A lot of people swear by. There's a couple different companies that make front and batter side head combinations. Those work great. I just like Remo, so that's what I like to use. And like I said, I like the bigger kick drums. I'm actually looking for a 26-inch right now. I love big kick drums. So, and like I said, I like it at a medium tuning. There's a couple of engineers in town that like them really flappy, so I'll tune them way down to where you can almost push the head in, and that's what they like. It's a service industry. I'm there to do what they want, so I do it, and they love it. And I don't particularly care for it, but that's it's their thing. So realistically, that's, if you can see this. Can you see this, honey? This is pretty tight. I keep the front head pretty tight. Anyway, that's it. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment on the blog site or tweet me. I always try to, if somebody asks me a question or emails me or whatever, I always try to talk to people. So if you have any questions about anything or any comments, let me know and we'll talk. Okay, so that's that's the kick drum. I'm sure that I've probably left something out. If I have, let me know and we'll talk about it in another 5 Minute Monday. Thanks for joining us. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.